Hey Cancer, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me, my subscribers, and those of you who have never joined me before. Thanks so much for coming. This is going to be a general read for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. They want no contact. Is it permanent or is it temporary? And a little subheading, what is the story? So I'm going to be pulling a crowning energy for you guys. Let me put that there. And this is going to be an energy for you moving forward. We'll pull that at the end. Hope you guys are doing well, guys. I do have to say in these relationship reads a couple of things. I know a lot of you know this, but I do have to say it because we're all in a different space with tarot, okay? I know some of you are a lot more seasoned. I know I have a lot of readers watching this channel, so, you know, just zone out then for a second. But for those of you who don't know, especially in relationship reads, the energy easily becomes very enmeshed. So a lot of the energy becomes vice versa. That is completely natural, particularly on a platform like YouTube, where everything really does need to be so general. So you really need to take the seeds of what you recognize as being your story and throw out the rest. Understand that it's impossible to catch everyone's energy exactly right each time. Sometimes we get lucky where months in a row people resonate. And I'm just saying that just as a heads up for you. Okay? And then also as a follow-up to that, you all have free will. So it doesn't matter how this reading ultimately ends up for you. You need to understand that at the end of the day, you guys have the power to control your own life, to make your own decisions, right? And that's so important. Light workers care about that. Light workers should be talking about that more. This idea of empowerment, self-empowerment, using tarot as a tool and not religion. Okay, not religion. But it is a beautiful tool. I could tell you, I've been doing it for so many years. It's incredibly accurate when you work with the energy. It's made such a difference in my life. I can't even tell you. But you have to take it as a tool. And that's it. I'm sorry for the little pause. I'm just thinking, all right, cards are out on the table. Let me just pull another card. This is going to be for if you guys are going to be getting into contact again. And this is going to be for a future recommendation for you. A little prediction of where you're going just for Cancer. Not their partner for that part. All right, so let's get right into this. Right now we have your crowning energy, which is a message in the bottle. Guys, Leo got this. So I don't know, some of you dealing with the Leo. But you guys are getting good news in the form of a phone call, an email, a text, something. But the energy here is asking for you to stay open to whatever you find out during this communication, because only good is on the other side of it. You know, the signs are all there. Just make sure that the things that matter deeply to you in this relation, in the reconnection, make sure that they don't get ignored in the catching up of things. You know what I mean, right? When you're maybe no contact with somebody for a while and then you guys reunite, it's very easy to get caught up in the moment. And what this energy is indicating, like, don't let those red flags that bothered you before go unaddressed. That's it. But besides that, this is a totally positive energy. I really like that for you. Now, this card, these three cards here are going to be your partner's energy leading up into the no contact. This is going to be you, and this is going to be where your partner is right now. Obviously, like I mentioned before, because of enmeshment, these roles could be flipped. But when I pulled, when I meditated, my intention was to indicate this as your partner. So with that being said, the first card is your partner. Partner's energy is the Devil in reverse. So we have the numerology linked to this is the Lovers, okay, but it is associated with Capricorn. So maybe some of you guys are dealing with the Cap, but the meaning here though is clear vision, okay? And a lot of people don't talk about that enough with the Devil card. You know, look, the Devil in reverse is the same position as when it's upright, but it's actually a little more positive. It really is. And I am definitely getting that this is something that your partner was going through. For sure. Very controlling. Struggling with temptation, materialism. Some of you guys could have had a partner who was dealing with addiction of some sort. It could have been, obviously, to substance abuse, or it could have been to sex, to food, even overall negative thinking patterns. But the idea is that since it's reverse, and you see in this card the chains that are around the couple's neck, they're very lax, and being that they're reversed, it could actually kind of be pulled off pretty easily, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I'm just getting that that whatever your partner was going through, they were sort of evolving out of it, you know, in a place of starting to manage the issues. But I'm just wondering if it wasn't too late. But I'm definitely getting that there was some sort of something going on there. Now, it doesn't have to be cheating. It could just be really bad behavior. Maybe they were just not treating you well. Maybe they were just being seriously emotionally distant, just very disconnected, focusing on the wrong things. But whatever it is, it's going to speak to you guys all differently. But it was definitely an issue, okay? And then next we have the Knight of Swords, which is a fire sign, Taurus and Gemini astrological association, with the key meaning of stress and truth. Feeling very stressful. They were feeling the need to tell the truth. I'm getting that they knew they weren't telling the truth. Something was going on here. Your partner really wanted to come in and speak the truth, but their energy was actually very unpredictable, very tempestuous at times, making you feel like you were on an absolute emotional roller coaster. So I am getting, for sure, that some truths came to light, or some sort of underlying conflicts were exposed that illuminated this very stressful and very confusing situation for you, Cancer. It's like things started to come together in your mind. You started to really put the pieces of the puzzle together. Things that you weren't quite able to figure out before were suddenly really becoming very obvious to you. Yeah. And then we have the King of Swords here. So, yeah, this tells me that your partner was just very, very in their head, not in their emotions at all. Trying to be very logical in their approach, not allowing themselves to feel. I'm getting that they acted really badly, did not want to take ownership of it. I'm getting that they are not emotionally intelligent enough to look at themselves honestly. Cancer, yeah. Nothing to do with their real level of intellect, of them not being smart. I'm talking about emotional intelligence. What other sign did I get this for? I got this for another sign, but absolutely, like they're just not... They don't have the emotional intelligence to look at themselves honestly. Or they're in a place where they were just viewing themselves through their ego and were just lying to themselves, just dead-ass lying to themselves. But I'm getting that they were very focused in their mind, trying to control things. I'm getting that you saw right through it, Cancer. It did not fly with you. Yeah. I'm getting pretty deep stuff here, Cancer. I got to tell you. Your partner is 100% not able to look at themselves honestly. This could be because, like I said, about the emotional intelligence thing, but you know what? Who really gives a shit? I'm not getting a narcissistic energy, but regardless, this is somebody who feels very validated, or at least is presenting themselves like that right now to make excuses for their bad behavior. I'm getting a lot of deflection here for sure. A lot of deflection. Very, how do I put this into words? A very surface energy, but there was so much other stuff going on underneath, but they were not letting you know. And I actually feel like they don't want the reading to know. Is that weird? All right, anyway. Yeah, we can maybe come back to that. But then we have the Queen of Cups reverse. This is the first energy that I'm getting for you guys in leading up to the no contact. So this indicates to me that you saw your partner going through a time of either emotional or financial pressure. Could have been either one. Everybody's story is different. But you know, look, of course, right? No kidding. We had the Devil reverse energy. So they were dealing with something for sure. I am getting this is an energy of jealousy. This does indicate deceit and not being faithful, but I'm feeling like you were feeling that from your partner, and that they were actually accusing you of stuff, but low level. Maybe they were even just thinking this, but I do get this idea of deflection. But regardless, this tells me obsessive tendencies, you know, really wanting to compete for attention, having one's way all the time. Very draining energy to be around. Yeah, very draining. And somebody who was struggling to commit or to contribute financially in the way that they should be, given the space of the relationship. Okay, keeping it real, for sure, this is how you viewed your partner, Cancer. I mean, This is what I'm getting. Absolutely. And then we have the High Priestess. And oh yeah, Cancer, your intuition was turned on big time. Hidden knowledge, just knowing things weren't right in the biggest way. This was like an incubation time for you. Very personal. Personal privacy, going inward, deepening your relationship with yourself. You were your best counsel at this point. You knew what time it was. Absolutely. Yeah, and this also means that it's like you got to this place where you realized that being single or not being in this in the way it was anymore was the right thing to do. That's what this energy indicates. Or your partner, or you, one of you, choosing to keep a part of your life separate and secret. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, there's something under that. All right, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which tells me that you were just ready to focus on your coin, right? But now this could be money, you know, the most mundane level, but it could also be, you know, money and work, but it could also be your mental health, or you getting in touch with yourself and who you are, or even your physical health. Okay, you know, maybe like a new workout routine, or a combination of all of these things. But regardless, this indicates to me that you guys, it's like you knew there had to be no contact during this time. You were in a place with your partner where there was just no winning. It didn't matter how bad you wanted it. That devil reverse was shading everything. And they were just not being honest about it, and they were deflecting. But, you know, you with your High Priestess and your intuition, you saw straight through the bullshit and you weren't having it. I'm getting that this no contact was either mutual or not the end of the world for you. I just feel like, not that you weren't hurting, I'm not getting that, and I'm not getting that you don't love them. I'm not. I'm getting a certain level of acceptance from you because you really recognized at this point, they truly needed to work on themselves. And sometimes, Cancer, and you guys know this, you're such a sensitive water sign and you're so intuitive. Sometimes people, you just got to leave them alone. Because they were not giving you what you needed, and you saw they weren't even giving themselves what they needed. So now going down to this row, saying what, indicating where your partner is right now, we have the Two of Wands, okay? Which is telling me that they're making plans in their mind to move forward. And there are two aspects of a situation that they're trying to think through right now. So they're trying to figure out exactly which path to take. You know, and they're also trying to figure out which issues are holding them back. But I have to tell you, Cancer, the glasses that they're seeing themselves through are so dirty that they could write their name on it. They're just not evaluating the situation in a healthy or relevant way. I'm getting that so strongly. I don't know if they're dealing with some sort of mental issue. I'm not getting anything really dramatic, but, you know, maybe some ADD or some high functioning spectrum disorder or a ton of honesty, but something that's fogging the way they're evaluating things. This could even just be a state of depression, or they did something or had something going on in their life that for them on a very personal level was so profound that they could not see straight. And I have to tell you that I'm getting that this really profound thing is actually outside of your relationship. Yeah. And then we have the Tower card. Don't be scared by this Mars energy. Yeah, Mars is the warrior planet of aggression, you know, self-defense. But this actually is a lot of really beautiful and positive things that could come out of it. So please focus on that. Yes, this can refer to breakups and breakdowns and disintegration or collapse of a structure that you thought was stable. And of course, because of this reading, it would be a relationship, of course, okay? But this can also symbolize the destruction of false ideas and beliefs, and it's a purging. So I have to tell you, I'm getting that your partner had this big ass wake-up call. I don't know what happened, but something did. And I'm getting that this experience was one of purification for them and protection. And self-preservation. They felt the need to preserve themselves. And I'm not getting from you. They're going through something. and an understanding that whatever you guys had to come down. It had to come down so that it could be renovated in a healthier way. It's like they see their role in everything, but they don't want to admit it to themselves, and they really don't want to admit it to you. But they realize that what's been going on up to this point can't continue if you guys are going to make it. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. And the thing is with this card, it's the Wheel of Fate, meaning that depending on how free will is tapped into and used, that's how the story's going to play out. It's a Jupiter energy, which is a great benefic, the bringer, for lack of a better term, luck and fortune. It's the largest planet in our solar system. It symbolizes growth, especially on a philosophical level. You know, really getting deep inside of ourselves. But I'm getting that your partner went really, really deep after this tower moment, and they really want to take another chance with you. Absolutely, I'm getting that. But then check this out. Okay, in the Witch's Tarot, the Wheel of Fortune is actually called the Wheel of the Year. It's the same energy, they just call it something different. But we have it up right here, but then when we have it in your advice row, we have it reversed. So what the hell is that about, right? Yeah, I mean, look, this just tells us, yeah, it's time for you guys to surrender to fate. And I know that doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do me any good either as a reader, so let's think about that. Okay, the good thing is that this does mark the end of a run of challenges, and the benefits here, I'm still getting a good vibe, okay? It's just going to take longer to gather momentum to move forward. And on a spiritual level, this indicates a lack of confidence in trusting your own intuition right now. Okay, that makes sense to me. That makes total sense to me, that you guys are just not trusting your intuition right now. Yeah, and then we have the Queen of Swords reversed, which tells me that somebody's making excuses for bad behavior, and one of you are being unjustly attacked. Yeah. I'm getting that one of you or both of you have turned, will turn. Okay, will turn very bitter. Really bitter about how things went. But I'm getting that this is 100% because of a ridiculous amount of stress that you guys are going to feel trying to address all of this, because I get this feeling that you both want it so badly, but all of this stuff happened, and it's just, how do you get past it? Seriously, by keeping your ego on a shelf. It's so hard. It's easier said than done, for sure. Yeah, but I'm getting you guys were just like, you will be going through this if you guys decide to work this out, right? And then we have the High Priest, which is telling me questions need to be answered right now, and maybe some advice even needs to be sought. So some of you may have been going to counseling of some sort, but this tells me this really requires a time of patience and a time of you each figuring out really what you each need, like looking deep inside yourselves for each of your own truths, because this is absolutely crucial for you guys to be in touch with as you rebuild this. As I am getting, there was just a ton of nonsense layered on a ton of pain that was laying on a ton of beauty that should have been this relationship. Yeah, and then we have the Knight of Wands who comes in to save the day, okay? Breathing new life into things. This is a card of movement, keeping it real. No jokes, jokes aside. This is a time, I love this energy. This is expect the unexpected. This is movement. This is something happening, Cancer. This is a strong energy. Something is going to happen with your partner where you're going to want to make a very bold move. They're going to want to make a bold move. The energy is here, something very energetic, something very fast moving. Be on your toes. This is a Sagittarius energy coming in, you guys. I feel like, your partner is just, they might have a hard time telling you that the shade is pulled up from in front of their eyes, but it will come out. They might not tell you right away, but they really want to be with you. So let's turn over the Oracle, that the card, the energy to tell me if you guys are going to be in contact and working it out or not. Okay, we have the Four of Cups energy. Yeah, one of the 4 cards in the entire deck that represents neutral. And I'm not surprised because we have 2 Wheel of Fortune cards. So, guys, this is all about free will. If this was really toxic and you don't want to get back into it, don't do it. If it wasn't that toxic and you still really love this person and you feel like they're in a good place for you to revisit this, totally do it. The energy is supporting you. Really, it's supporting you to heal and move past it, or it's supporting a reconnection. That is what the neutral card means. So I actually really like that. I mean, I'm only saying that because you got 2 Wheel of Fortunes in here. So there's a lot of free will happening here, which is always a good thing, right? Always a good thing, I say. Okay, so your oracle advice for moving forward, this is just for you, Cancer, is breathe. What a beautiful card. This indicates the need for patience and for you to not be in too much of a hurry because the heart needs time to open, you know, especially if they're going through so much. So this is nature taking its course, you know, leaving anxiety behind and tension behind. You don't need it right now. You don't need it right now. It's not necessary. Your patience is going to pay off for you in the deepest and meaningful way. I love this for you. And then you finally, oh my gosh, come on now. My favorite card in the deck. My favorite card in the deck because it illuminates every other card in the spread. All right. Cancer, you're going to be like better than fine. I am loving this reading. I think this is my favorite reading so far. 100%. Because you know what? You guys went through stuff. But that's okay. That's normal. And if you didn't go through stuff, you wouldn't be on this video right now. Because you wouldn't be clicking onto a no contact video, right? So I feel like there's love here. I feel like your partner's a little bit of a knucklehead. And I mean that with the deepest affection. They just don't know how to look at themselves. But I feel like they're starting to figure it out. Between this Devil reverse and the Tower, they're figuring it out. Saturn is holding the mirror up to their face right now. Holding it right up and telling them their story. Yeah, I like this. Cancer, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is what I have for you. I'll see you guys next week for the last 2 weeks of May. All right, you guys take care. Bye-bye.